welcome back to We Care a Lot. I am half the pod, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
And we have a special little guest today. Say hi to Brittany.
Hello.
We talk about Brittany all the time on this podcast, honestly. We'll be like, yeah, and then Brittany. And Brittany was there. And so now you know.
Yeah. I always have to introduce her every time I speak about her, but she's my partner's sister and also one of my besties. So yeah, it was about time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And specifically, we're running out of time. Our friend here is moving to Amsterdam, so
I am Amsterdam.
Literally.
I am Amsterdam.
That's crazy.
I Amsterdam.
I Amsterdam. Right.
She's got jokes.
Yeah, she belongs there, clearly.
Stressed jokes.
So today when we're filming, you're like a week and a half from officially flying? 1 week.
A week from today. A week.
Literally on
less
Monday.
than a week, officially 2 hours ago. I leave at 11 a.m. next Monday.
Wow.
Insane. I feel like I need to step back in answering for her because I'm like, I know all the answers.
Yeah.
You're like, if she's leaving.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Which is fine.
You said, I mean, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Damn. So have you packed everything?
Yes and no. We did a big pack last night with some friends, which was good.
Nice.
But yeah, it's like really particular. You have to like customize or put everything in custom sheets in order to be able to
Oh, really?
like submit them.
She has to itemize what's in each box.
So when is that due? Like,
I'm gonna send that tonight.
Okay.
So they're pretty much done. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna send that tonight, and then it's just kind of getting rid of the rest of the stuff that's being donated.
and they just kind of approve it within 24 hours type thing? And
They
then...
approve it and they send the shipping labels. It just has to be the night before, and so they'll pick up Wednesday
Oh.
morning. It's like door-to-door service. It's really, really good.
Wow.
I don't know the name of it for the plug, but I
No
didn't set it
sponsors
up.
here.
I didn't
No
set it up, but it's through FedEx.
Sponsors.
It's like really
Wow, that's
legit.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, I always thought about the logistics of moving out of the country and how easy or difficult that would be.
Yeah, I think if you moved with furniture, it's definitely more difficult. But I'm only
Yeah.
bringing like one
Or
small
like a
chest,
car.
or like a car. Yeah, but I'm bringing like no animals, no car, no job.
No job.
I mean, pretty much everything has been
Handled.
Nice
donated or given up.
refresh.
Okay, for
Yeah.
our viewers, let's share why you're moving.
Yeah,
What's brought you to this point in your life?
just start
Okay.
from the beginning.
I know, I'm like, where do we even begin? So
yeah.
you used to live in Seattle, which is also
Oh, that far back. Okay,
I think
go
let's
that far back.
let's
Let's do
just
it. Let's do it.
gist.
let's do
Gist.
Like when we met?
Yeah, sure.
it. Okay.
So you used to live in Seattle.
I used to live in Seattle. I was in a really long-term relationship, 7 years. And I guess we can take it from the pandemic. I feel like that's kind of everyone's like before Jesus,
shifted.
after Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After COVID.
BC.
I was in like an
Literally,
BC, literally
Not before
BC.
Christ, but before
Before COVID.
But before COVID.
BC. Yeah, I was in a long-term relationship. We were transparently trying for a family, had gotten pregnant and had lost my baby during 2020, which was like just a little icing on the cake. But had my sister, well, you guys actually had moved out by then.
Mm-hmm. We were living in Koreatown at the time.
Yeah, yeah, because they were living with us for a little bit towards like a couple
end of-
months during the
yeah.
beginning of pandemic,
Yeah.
which kind of was like the last straw / demise of that relationship, and it really like woke me up. I always say like she was like the angel sent to like wake me up out of that and really brought me into my spirituality and that whole journey. But yeah, we had split, and then I was kind of like just learning how to live on my own, and we had a really big house in Seattle, and my parents and I had bought it together. We sold the house. I moved into a really small apartment, and yeah, that was
Literally like almost the size of like a studio. It was
I think it
very
was-
little, but I feel like it was perfect
I
for you
think
at the
it was
time.
280 square feet, maybe 300.
Yeah.
Maybe 310. I think it was 310.
Oh my God.
I should
Yeah.
know.
The room
But yeah,
was
it was
like
small.
angled in a specific way. I just but the building
yeah.
was so like luxe.
It was super luxe, and it was like a bachelorette vibe. Like I just was like, I went from this like literal suburb 3-bedroom home,
You went from mama
3
to-
stories.
yeah, like
Mommy.
building a home.
Yeah. Like mama to mommy, literally.
Quickly.
Very quickly. Had met a new partner in that process, probably too soon, if I'm being completely honest. But I met a new partner, and we decided to move to LA. And I had always wanted to move back to LA at that point. Like after we had split, I realized like this really wasn't for me. I was in medical sales at the time, and they had an opening in California and LA. And so I started considering that, and had told my new partner, like, I'm moving, you can come. He was like, yeah, nice. Let's do it. And so we came back, but really that was for the ocean, for sisters, family. My grandma also was a big part of that, and just wanting to be like, yeah, but more in the sun and near the ocean, which is funny because now I'm like,
yeah, forward now.
That's okay. That's
everything
okay.
in phases.
I'm like, she's gonna get a Portugal sun. Okay, whatever. Fuck off.
What the hell?
That's true. Some travel sun. But yeah, I think like in the background that whole time, like to try to bring it to how I kind of met my partner now, was a lot of like spirituality and just like kind of figuring out my life. And I had lived, we've talked about this, but predominantly in like my masculine, my whole career, and like my whole corporate career, and also my personal life.
Yeah.
In a multitude of ways. And that obviously goes back to a whole other multitude and slew of things. But I think that like on the side of me doing medical sales, I was always supporting women in birth and being a birth doula. And that was kind of a big thing I wanted to do here too. But I still needed to make some income because I was really supportive, and my masculine still in this relationship, supporting financially a lot of things. So there really wasn't an option to like dive into like a birth space.
Yeah,
a passion project. Exactly. So yeah, I did that for a while. I was in medical. We lived in Brentwood area, and it was good, not great, I would say. Like I think crack started like showing pretty quickly.
You said crack, and I was like, wait,
crack
doing crack?
Wait, that explains a lot.
That would explain literally everything, actually.
I was like, wait a minute, crack showed up at the house.
No
Okay,
crack.
this is a different path we need to. Okay.
No crack. Delete the word crack.
Metaphorical
holes.
cracks.
Right. Holes in the plot.
Plenty of holes in the plot. And I think I ignored them because I was just kind of in a lustful state. And again, comfy in my masculine. So took over that relationship figuratively. And then, yeah, I think we were off again, on again. I had moved into my own apartment, and actually Melissa and Logan had started looking for a house. Kind of looked at finances. We're like, maybe we should just do it together. We did that together.
I'm like, LA's a
expensive
place. It might take 3 people to own a home.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was nice because it ended up being a duplex. But I hadn't planned actually originally living here.
Yeah.
We were going to rent it, which we are doing now. But I had gone through that breakup and was like, I think maybe I'll just move out of my apartment too. And so we all moved in here, which was really nice. But during that transition, I had also lost my job. And that's kind of what prompted me on this huge just like trip. Because my ex and I were going to be traveling to Costa Rica for 2 months and living there. And I worked remote at the time. But when I lost my job, that was like not necessarily feasible. And we also split up. That's also the other thing.
Yeah.
We also broke up. So we weren't going to be traveling together to Costa Rica.
Was it booked already?
I think the flight there was booked.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was booked. The flight there, because we didn't know how long we were going to stay.
Right.
So that was August 2023. I shouldn't put dates on this because everything moved really quickly. I lost a job. Like we literally broke up, I think a month and a half after that. Yeah. And then I was like, gonna switch the whole plan now. And instead of traveling with him, I ended up looking into traveling alone. And that's when I looked into this big trip where I met my new partner. I'm just monologuing now, so if you...
Yeah, I was like,
I'm like,
questions. I don't know. I personally like to like listen to the pieces of what even prompted like solo. I mean, obviously there was a trip already planned and whatever, but I feel like there was much more like depth to like you losing your corporate job.
Oh yes, yeah.
And you heavily like identifying with corporate America to then like being like, I feel like the universe, and if you're not woo-woo, fuck off. But like, I feel like the universe literally like pushed you and propelled you to do something that was extremely uncomfortable.
Agreed.
And so like, tell us more about how
it felt to like lose your corporate job.
Yeah, that sucked. Like that was a huge identity crisis for me, if I'm being completely honest.
You were in your solo apartment at that time?
I was here. We had just bought our house, thankfully,
which
before
also
I lost the job because we would not
loan.
have been able to buy it.
Yeah.
Because we needed W-2 income, which
if
you're buying a house.
The universe's timing is funny.
So funny. They're like, have a house, but like also lose your job. But it was such a blessing, but it was like, And again, I look back on it as like, quite frankly, the best thing that could have happened to me, especially at that time frame. But like, it was so hard because I didn't realize, I mean, in that moment, I was quite spiritual. Like I was going to our meditation center and meditate every single morning. But I was so attached to like such a physical humanness of identity and money and work that I didn't recognize that until I didn't have it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was, quite frankly, doing really well for myself. I had been in corporate sales for 10 years. And then all of a sudden I went to no income. And like my family had this joke, like, you were a rich auntie and now you're not. Like, it was true. Like, it was like this weird, but that was also an identity I had with money. Like, I liked taking care of people. I liked doing that. And I did that with money too. And so that was, that really was an identity change and crisis for me, I think. And crisis only because it did end and I was able to move through it. But a lot of that has to do with the spirituality and just like identifying what parts who are you without your job and without money abundantly flowing to you. It worked out. And that's when I started thinking, like, what do I like to do? And I like to be a birth doula, and I like to support women, and I like to go to coffee shops and be able to do that. And so I did that for the first few months, and started building my business, and went from there. And then the solo travel really came from my Peru. Yeah. And the idea of solo traveling, I mean, when I was in college, I went 4 months on a boat, basically, where I circumnavigated the world. So I've been to like a lot of countries, but I was really young, partied a lot, but I knew I liked traveling. Yeah. But with a lot of those limitations that I had experienced in my life, flying was like really difficult for me. And I have moved through that and now can fly, which opened me up to like this idea of solo traveling. So and then I decided to kind of, instead of sit here and figure it out, travel and figure it out. Yeah.
I feel like specifically though, I don't know if like you're going to mention it, but like specifically in losing your job and then coming to like, oh, I really want to hone in on the doula like job.
Yeah.
I guess
passion.
Like the passion.
Yeah.
Or purpose. You decided that you also wanted to do like midwifery or like even just like doing like some sort of schooling or experience to further, because you had done a few births at that point. Right. But then like Peru was the thing that you wanted to go do.
Yeah. And that was that was also goes back to 2020 because
oh my god, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Again, woo-woo.
Super woo-woo, but I was not woo-woo at the time.
No, she was not.
Like,
I don't think that
is a whole thing as well.
Beginning of 2020, I could not, granted, we were raised Christian, not knocking that at all, but like, that's how I was raised, and it didn't work for me. I sat there trying to talk to Jesus all the time. Like, you can see my journals, like, he doesn't hear me. I'm not hearing him. I don't know what's happening. But like,
how are people doing this?
Could not relate. And I just would sit there and
said, why am I trying to speak to this man?
Yeah, also this man. And when I had lost my mom when I was 15, I was like, okay, absolutely not. This doesn't make sense. Like, so I just moved away completely from religion and spirituality to the point that it was like, I could not speak about death. I could not talk about anything. Logan and I couldn't talk. Like, if you guys had any sort of conspiracy or concept, like, I would run for the hills. Yeah. Because I couldn't be out of control. I had to be super in my reality. I couldn't be out of control. I didn't drink for 4 years, which were also other reasons, but like, you were not for alcoholic reasons. For let me clarify, for partnership reasons. My ex was a alcoholic, but I couldn't, but even the concept of drinking during that time period also was
like
scary.
A control thing as well.
My brain had to be 100% like controllable.
Which is interesting because I feel like since I've known you, you've done like meditation, but the form in which you've like meditated is so different from then and now. Like before, I feel like it was more of a biological, like scientific thing of like calming your nervous system down, versus now I feel like you utilize it for the same thing, but like also to connect spiritually and be like, I'm trying to find some sort of answers within myself. Totally. Versus like, I'm just trying to be at peace right now and like have a good morning.
And like have my body be calm. Right. Versus my head. Totally. And I will say also, like, I did 3-minute meditations for many, many years and I could not get out of that. I was like, 5 minutes, absolutely not. 10 minutes sounded like a job. There was no way. And I don't do under 10 minutes really now, like in the mornings. So that's also a whole other thing too. But yeah, so in 2020, I was in that previous relationship or that really long relationship where I really wanted to start a family. Honestly, there was that could be a whole
episode itself.
Literally a whole series on that relationship.
You said, no, my own whole podcast, babe.
Literally.
Not just another episode.
Yeah, there was so much to be said about that
Lots
one.
of layers.
But at the end of the day, I really wanted to have a family, and I was fully financially, physically, and emotionally ready for that, I thought. And my partner wasn't. And so it was kind of like a pushing in to be ready type moment. But I was so anxious and so stressed about all of that I was like trying to pull everything. Herbs. I didn't do medication, which I did do in college for anxiety. And again, not knocking medication, absolutely all for that. But I didn't opt into that. I was trying to find like a more holistic way. And so I tried acupuncture. And that's how I met this random acupuncturist I'll never forget, because it was pouring rain. It was like 5:30. Like we were the only ones in this office. And her plan was to be doing acupuncture on me for like 30 minutes, like an intro to acupuncture thing. And it ended up being like a 2.5 hour like shaman experience where she basically,
wild.
Yeah. Like,
I never went, but
I would never, and again, like we mentioned, I would have never agreed to this.
Yeah, going into it, you weren't the person that was like,
no, I would never accept like, shamanic help. Like I would never look into that.
It would have freaked her the fuck out. Like I think she would have.
Yeah, because what do they tell you? You're like, I'm only gonna have 2 kids, or I'm not gonna have any kids. I'm scared. All those things.
Yeah. Okay, we had to take a quick pause, but so if anything shifted,
it was for the better.
Mind your business. Okay. But we were getting to this experience of you literally. Again, I think the universe forced you into this experience because you would have never agreed.
I wouldn't have.
I would not have. But tell Sam how insane.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've heard snippets of it or something. It's sounding vaguely familiar now.
I would not have agreed to it. This is very, very true. I also tried to remember, anyways, I couldn't even explain it to, like, my non-spiritual
what
partner.
were you going for?
I was going for acupuncture, for stress release.
Stress release.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, something's wrong with me.
She said, yeah, babe.
I'm stressed.
Sit down.
Sit down. We're going to be here for a long time.
I get there, and she, I actually couldn't even tell you what she looks like, which is so weird. Like, I almost feel like she was faceless. Like, when I think back on it, she wasn't. But,
Google her now.
Yeah, we should. I also never paid her. Not on purpose. Like, there was no transaction to be made. Like, sometimes I'm like, it was created in my head. Like, it wasn't, though, right? It wasn't.
Like, you dreamt it?
That's also your biggest fear. Like,
it's also my biggest fear that
her being, like, crazy. Like having
fully
a moment
made it up.
She's, like, literally schizophrenic.
Which is rooted in something, because my mom was a bit crazy.
Control. I think it's a control thing.
It is control. But I have released that. If I'm crazy, I'm going to be crazy. But I do have a fear of, like, going a little nutty. But also that was, anyways, that was... Anyways, so just thought of Smith in my head.
What did they tell you?
Anyways, so I go in there, and I just remember sitting down in the chair in the corner, not on the acupuncture table, and I think I sat there for an hour, and I don't remember what she even said to me, but I just started sobbing, and I knew I was like really heightened at that point, because mind you, I had just spent at this point now probably 2 years. And from what I remember of my relationship over those 2 years, was like went to work. I went on a billion work trips all the time. I was always gone. And if I wasn't gone, I was sitting on that couch and we were watching TV by 5 and like falling asleep on the couch. And I would have a panic attack at 7:30 every night.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it felt very much like there was a routine to your relationship and to your like life at that moment.
Yeah. Sometimes there was a puzzle, but other than that, we did nothing.
Yeah, until we came into the picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which I did stuff with my friends,
yeah, no,
but he didn't. So there was like a lot of our relationship was just very stale, and his mother also lived with us. There's a whole thing. Sex therapy, lots of things involved in that dark space of the life. But I was in a dark space is what I was trying to get to. So I was trying to find some relief.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought acupuncture could do for me. I was also scared of it because it was energy and hippie woo-woo, but I was like, I'm going to take a step. Turns out, 20 minutes in, she's asking for my information. I'm crying, and she's like, you seem really overwhelmed. I was like, yeah, I want to have a baby. It's not happening. Like, what the heck, blah, blah, blah. And we weren't even trying at that point, but he just didn't want to yet. He was, not ready. Also, we just never had sex, so that's, a whole other thing that it was, needed to be forced.
Our poor audience is like, babe, we're grasping. Can you please give me more?
Sorry. There's
I know, there's a lot to that relationship.
We were going to have to record in Amsterdam.
Yeah. But it also like does not matter at all anymore because I'm just so
not
I'm
the point
so
of the
removed
story.
from it. Yeah. But anyways, I remember going in crying, and then the girl looked at me. Couldn't tell you her name. I probably should know it because she kind of changed a lot of my life. But she was just like, "Can you get on the table?" Like after like crying for a bit, and I was like, "Sure, cool. Acupuncture's finally starting. Like I've been here a minute. This is good." So I get on the table. She goes, "I don't usually say this to clients. They just kind of like love how I make them feel because I energetically heal them through my shamanism. But I am a shaman." And you're like only one of 2 people I've ever told that to of my clients. And I was like, okay, fuck. What does that mean?
Said,
I wanted to like run out. I was like, I remember panicking, and I said to her, I was like, I'm having a panic attack because I was like so uncomfortable. And she's like, okay. And then we like went through the panic attack together, and I laid down, and then she walked around my table crying, herself and myself, for like, I think it was like an hour and a half. Maybe I couldn't tell you time. Didn't
just
touch me.
Walking around.
Didn't touch me. It was just
That would
saying.
have freaked me out also though. Like
Didn't touch me.
A woman crying next to me, like.
Yeah, and she said, she was like, I'm not sad, I'm not happy, I'm just energetic right now, and I'm
like,
releasing.
I'm holding space for yours.
basically.
Yeah, she was like, that's why it started originally, was because she said there's someone specifically who really needs to speak to you, and like usually I ignore it, but they need to talk to you.
Freaked me out.
Yeah, it was my mom, but yeah. Which was nice and comforting. And there was this whole experience where they were like, my spirit guides were like surgeons healing up a hole in my heart, which I think had a lot to do with my mom's stuff. My mom was there. I remember seeing her also in scrubs. And like, it was like this whole experience. And then she was like, I don't know why, but I see you, not my mom, but the shaman was like, I see you delivering babies in Peru. And I was like, okay.
You said not a thought in my mind.
Yeah, not a thought in my mind. I hadn't been to South America actually in any of my travels at that point. I'd been to Central America, but like Mexico at that point, I think. I hadn't even been to, El Salvador yet. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm not flying at all at that point too. So I was like, yeah, no.
You said, girl, that is
not
a shot
happening.
in the dark.
Mm-hmm. So I let it go, but it's come up so much over the years. And again, like I said, she never asked me for payment or any information at the end of that session. I don't know if it was because she was like, this is just like this
wasn't what you want, like the service.
She did do some acupuncture at the end, but it was wild. It was so wild. Crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what happened.
You saw your mom.
Yeah, she was there. She for sure was there. Like I mean, my eyes were closed. No, my eyes were closed. Felt her. I could see her like in my third eye, whatever, and like saw literally like. I don't know how to describe it versus like almost felt like Inside Out characters wearing like scrubs, and I hadn't seen it Inside Out at that point. I kind of love that. But it was like ghosty type people.
I'd be like,
I love Inside Out too. But yeah, it was weird, and they were like sewing it up. But I'd always had Peru in my head since then.
Interesting.
And things started shifting for me then. I started opening myself up to agape, started opening myself up to more meditation and more meditative experiences.
Physically.
But yeah, I mean, that was in January of 2020. And then February 2020, COVID had hit, and then we had gotten pregnant. So I didn't split still with Max until another year later, till January 2021. Yeah. So yeah.
So that like experience, I feel like, is like a precursor to then like her having this whole like
second relationship?
Identification with like, what am I supposed to be doing with my purpose? Like, what do I want to do with my life now that I'm not in corporate America? And then like, I think that you remembered, or like it that piece of Peru kept coming up, and then you like found this program, right? Yeah,
I like searched midwifery in Peru because when I started, like you had mentioned before, I could always be a birth doula my whole life and I would be happy, but like I kind of wanted more, and I wanted to look into midwifery and such, which is the difference is birth doulas like the difference is
we told her she could face the camera to speak directly to you if she wanted. So
I guess good time. Like, what is a doula if nobody knows what a doula is?
I was gonna ask you what the difference was, but you were way ahead of me.
I was there. I felt it. So birth doula supports mom. That's like the easiest way to put it. Where like they're not hyper focused on baby, they're hyper focused on mom. They support your mom or birthing person, but they support your wishes in a room basically for the birth.
Okay.
So your spokesperson, but also they don't speak for you. They kind of like empower your voice.
Yeah.
So the way I describe it is like I remind you of what you want in that room when you need it, and I also help you find out what you want in that room. So like I tell you all the options, I tell you all the things that you can experience. We research together, I answer questions. I'm kind of just like a birth liaison in a lot of ways, and help you guide and create your experience, and then uplift it and support it during the time. And that can happen in literally a plenty of ways. So it's never specific on one way.
Yeah.
Midwifery's a little bit more structured. Sometimes it's not. They also have like free birth and stuff like that. But like midwifery is a little bit more structured in that it is kind of similar to like an OB where you're, you know, helping deliver the baby, you're catching the baby, you're more concerned about catching the baby.
I'm just like
catching.
Literally.
I know. I always say I hate the word delivery because it sounds like a pizza, and it's like not a pizza. It's a baby. Yeah. So like they're more focused on like safety and like mom and baby, and they're still supporting mom, like definitely midwives more than, I wouldn't say more than OBs because everyone's so specific and individualized.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of great OBs out there, but yeah, it's more like, yeah, they're they're on the other end. I almost define it like I'll be by mom's head and they'll be by the vagina with the baby, or the uterus with the baby.
And you are interested in both, is what you were saying.
I started getting more interested in the midwifery, which is why I looked into this program to study with a midwife in Peru. And it was super easy, and it was like right there. And I started getting skeptical because I was like, oh, is there other areas where they have midwifery? And like, they're just common, and like, that's why there's this Peru one. But like, they weren't as common anywhere else, which made me even more weirded out that I like kept coming to the Peru idea. I liked the program. I can't say it was like everything I've ever wanted and what I thought it was going to be, but it was what I needed to like kind of learn.
You let go of the control.
Yes.
It was what it was.
I had to, especially in Peru, because that was, anyways, I had released a lot of control over the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
So
that started the solo.
So that's kind of why I started thinking about traveling to Peru, and then from Peru I made a trip around it. So I traveled to like Mexico City over New Year's in January of 2024. And then El Salvador to go back there because I had gone there the previous summer to see some friends and with some friends. And then I needed to go to Peru for the month of February. Yeah, so I was in, But in order to get there, I had to buy a flight, and I hadn't bought flights. So that was the other way of like releasing control, is flying used to be really hard. It still is not easy for me, but like I didn't even have flights planned, which I think was like a really testament to like my letting go. But yeah, so then I had to book a flight, and I was either choosing between a layover in Bogota or in Colombia, or a layover in Lima, Peru on my way to Cusco. And I was like, oh, I should add like another country. I had talked to a girl named Brittany randomly who was like, I loved solo traveling in Bogota, and I hadn't heard that before. And so that was kind of random and felt oddly serendipitous. So I was like, cool, we'll do that. And then I went there. Yep. And then I got super bad elevation sickness when I first got there because it's like 8,000 feet above elevation, which like Denver's like 54 or 58. And then I remember like being in bed and thinking like, I remember writing my journal, this is going to be like a solo time. And then also to mention the month before I was like kind of in like a party single mode because I had like broken up with my ex months before, but like I was traveling. I was just having a good old grand time, letting loose. Yeah. And so I think I was really focused on being completely alone in Bogota and like going on in my own tours and everything. Didn't really reach out to anybody or try to do anything with anyone for Peru because I wanted to like be in a good headspace. But I went on a free walking tour and now met my boyfriend partner, who I'm with now and now moving to Amsterdam for.
Wait, how'd you meet him?
In the tour?
On a free walking tour.
He was in it? Or
he was on the walking tour. Okay. He will tell you a completely different story to this, by the way.
Well, I want to hear yours.
But we were on this walking tour. There was probably like 45 of us on this walking tour. It's a free tour, so you just tip, basically. Yeah. Like, they suggest like $10 or something. And they just walk you around the city and show you around. And I was only there for like 3 days, and so there was like a lot of tourist stuff I wanted to do in the city of Bogota. And there was a group of people who we kind of connected, and then afterwards the guide was like, if you want to go to lunch, I'll take you to lunch. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds good. So we did that after, and again, that group got smaller. So there was only like 10 or 12 of us at that point. And then from there, I like solo Brittany was like supposed to be alone and like doing her own thing, was like, does anybody want to travel together the rest of the day? And like 8 people or so had said yes. We called each other the Bogota babies in our WhatsApp group.
Love it.
And I got everyone's number and made a group chat, and he was one of them.
Okay. And were you initially like,
I thought it was cute.
You said, okay.
I thought you were cute.
You want to be in this group?
I thought it was cute.
Hey.
But he, oh, I should go back. So in Bogota, they're known for this beverage food thing called chocolate and cheese, chocolate con queso. And it's literally hot chocolate that you dip cheese in, and then you let the cheese soak up the hot chocolate, and then you scoop out the cheese. It's oddly very good. It's like a sweet and salty vibe.
Interesting.
But he had made a joke about getting chocolate and cheese after the tour. And I had like laughed at it. And that was our initial intro. So we kind of had this like flirty vibe. And then we traveled together the rest of the day, the 8 of us. And we flirted like in museums and like walked around and stuff. But nothing ever really came of it. And but we exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
And then we had been texting that night and then literally never stopped texting and fell in love over texting because he was traveling Colombia for like 3 weeks after that, but he left Bogota the next morning. So we never saw each other again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was his last night.
Yeah, that was his last day. Yeah. I didn't even come out that night.
Wow.
Yeah. To dinner or drinks. So rude.
So rude.
But yeah. And then, yeah, more spiritual hippie woo stuff.
Yeah.
But
then a lot of shit happened.
Well,
then you had your month in February, and
month in
then
Peru.
she was still on her hot girl shit. I'm gonna do whatever I want shit, and then she was like, "Hey guys,
who is this to you?
To us, to me and Logan." She goes, "Hey guys, would it be like crazy if I like went for a month to Amsterdam?" We're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What's there?
That's where he lives, by the way.
And then so she went for basically a whole month.
It was supposed to be 2 weeks, but
for him, right? Like,
well, she was gonna travel.
It was,
but you
for
had no
him.
intention.
He does
like,
not know that. He never knew that. He always thought it was like you wanted
part
to
of
see
your
that.
plan
I mean,
now?
he knew. No, he knows
I was
probably
like,
now. But he had.
I said, oh my God.
I said, cut it out, Sam.
Whoa.
No, I feel like he knew. He knew I was going for him. Like, I was actually rereading our text message this morning. I don't know why. Like, our original WhatsApp messages when I couldn't sleep. And, like, I feel like he knew I was coming, but I definitely booked the flight and was like, P.S. I'm coming kind of vibe. But I knew we had a friend in London, Bodhi, who I stayed with. And then I had a friend in Germany. So I was like, but I'm going to see friends, like, in Europe. So, like, if it works out, would love to see you, obviously, and be with you in Amsterdam.
It was just funny because we're like, you're going to Amsterdam for a man. And she was like, no. I'm like, you're going to Amsterdam for a man.
But
just say what it is. But the thing is like, we were like, okay, but Brittany, if it doesn't work out, like, what's your plan? And she was like, I have friends. I'm like, okay.
True, yes,
fine,
I had friends.
fine. Like, it's like, imagine though, like, on the other end being like, yeah, I think I'm going to stay for like 2.5 weeks, maybe.
So your plan was to see him, just like you booked a flight to Amsterdam.
So I booked
wherever you were.
So this was the other thing is I was running low on cash at that point. Mind you, it's like month 3 of not working.
Girl.
Or month 5 of not working, actually. And we have a house. But we had a tenant who wanted to stay an extra month who was like subleasing with me. It also worked out. So that was the first step in the process. Because at first I was texting him. I was like, there's no way I can come to Amsterdam because we had talked about it. I was like, there's no way. Come here. You're in Colombia for 3 more weeks. Come to Peru. And then I was like, or you can go to, or I can go there. But our tickets were like $1,000.
We're talking about seeing each other. It's not like you booked a ticket and was like,
sorry.
and I'm
that
here.
made it sound. We were texting
They were
every
texting
single day, all day.
And FaceTiming.
No, we had only FaceTime twice.
Oh,
after the flights were booked.
Y'all are crazy.
Scary.
I know.
Scary.
Right? I felt so silly thinking about that because FaceTime's like, I FaceTime everybody.
So accessible.
I don't talk on the phone. So weird. We did voice notes though, and like some videos. But yeah, I remember saying that I could travel to other places too. And then I also, that's what it was. I have a cousin who really wanted to travel and see things. And so we had planned on meeting in Miami before I came home because my flight points, for whatever reason, got me to Miami. And I, again, low budget, I was like, perfect. So I met her in Miami. And then before I went, obviously, I'd booked this other trip. But I had literally the exact amount of points left to get from Miami to London. So it was like, and there was a flight on my points. Yeah. There was like no international flights with Alaska, but that was like the only flight. So I was like, okay, this feels too good to be true. So that's why I booked it. And then from there, I took the train to Amsterdam.
Got it.
Yeah. It felt meant to be. I also got a tarot card reading that told me it was meant to be. So
So we're back on the woo-woo shit.
Okay, wait. So the shaman only told you about, I mean, obviously they probably told you other things, but they told you about Peru specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like, okay. Even
That's
then you were like,
this whole thing.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens,
even then I was whatever, but I do have a lot of journal entries and I like Instagram posts like thinking about moving to Peru or like, yeah, I remember posting super not humbly, like sitting in the bathtub being like, where is she going next? It was like Peru was one of them and there was like 2 other options, but Peru was the answer, but I wasn't even going to go to Peru at that time. And then it was like Los Angeles and something else, but yeah.
Dead.
I'd been talking about it for a bit.
Yeah.
Also, I was talking recently to my boyfriend about this, but in my journals, I mentioned Amsterdam. And I can't tell, like right now, I can't tell you I ever thought about living in Amsterdam. But in my journals, I've read them before. Like I've mentioned it since I was a kid for no, like really randomly.
It's so strange.
Yeah, not a lot, but like the word Amsterdam has come up a few times.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
All meant to be.
All meant to be.
Yeah,
I feel like if you look at
so.
the trajectory, it's like literally like and then this moment led to this moment, and
It
then
is.
that led to that. And it's kind of insane.
It's
really
weird when
crazy.
you can like, look back and like piecemeal it together.
Is that how you feel right now? Like, you're like, okay, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing? Or do you still feel like, okay, we're a week out, I'm stressed?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think I definitely feel so confirmed in this. And it's funny because, I mean, going through the process of like actually coming to the decision of this, like I was there for, I think 3 weeks at that point, and I was like, okay, if one of us isn't moving, what are we doing here? Like, I want to go home if this isn't working because I'm starting to fall. Like, I'm starting to feel it. And he was like, I'm not ever moving out of Europe. Like, and I don't want to do long distance, and I don't think you should move this soon. Like, so he basically was giving me an ultimatum of nothing. And I was like, those are the only 3 options here, sir. And so, like, otherwise it's like goodbye. And then I started looking at flights that night. I remember this moment. I remember laying in bed being like, I guess I'm flying out tomorrow. Like, this isn't going to work. But then I think it was the next morning, or maybe just even an hour later. Was it an hour later? I don't know if it was later that night or the next morning. It was the next morning. I think he was like, I don't know what I was thinking. Of course we have to make this work. And I was just like,
whiplash.
What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, which was a red flag. Like, that was a quick change of adjustment, and we've obviously moved through that at this point because I'm moving there. But, like, it was really surprising, and he was just like, I don't know, I guess you could move here. Like, I really don't want to move out of Europe right now. His family lives, like, 5 hours away from Amsterdam, his hometown. But it's like, he wasn't against it at that point also. And there is, like, a chance for us to probably come back here for a little bit.
Or forever.
But yeah,
This economy.
I know.
Maybe she
In
does
this
want to
political
leave.
climate.
Or you bring us all over there. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And my family.
Yeah,
And everyone I know.
but I think also he still had stress about me moving and like being reliant
sure.
on him, because there's a lot. I mean, we're doing a visa in which like I am fully reliant. But when he came here and met my family, and when he came here and met like saw what I did for work and saw like my capabilities, I remember him saying like, I don't hope nothing would ever happen to us, but I know like if it did, you'd be okay. Like, you have a support system that I don't have to be like, I don't feel the pressure, which I think is a really big deal. And like kind of like the subtle game changer for us was like the release of pressure, because I remember that being such a vivid point in all my relationships, because I felt like I was always moving forward, but it was always pressure on my partner to like keep up,
So interesting.
to do something,
Or
but
for you to step up for them.
yeah, which is ironic, because the fact that I am so capable, and
It's like she was now then questioned in the reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so weird. But I do think that release of pressure and it not even being like a problem in our relationship is literally just night and day to like what I've experienced before.
And that's the shift really of the masculine to
That's also
feminine,
a
too.
shift. I think femininity is super interesting in that I had been in my masculine because of caretaking reasons, which is also ironic because like being a mom is a caretaker in a lot of ways, but like just like the financial like breadwinner
And the masculine ways of caretaking. Yeah.
Exactly. And also being a big sister, losing a mom really early. A lot of that was like, and being raised by a dad, even though quite feminine dad, but like still like a man who's in his energy.
I love him.
He's the best. But I think that like, that just caused me to be comfortable in control and comfortable in caretaking and comfortable in like, if I'm doing it, I'm okay. But like if anyone else is doing it for me, can't trust it.
Yeah.
And that is the big shift that's happening, is I felt feminine with him, but still taken care of and supported, but still like I'm 100% me. And I just hadn't tapped into this like feminine version of me, and so that felt really good.
I don't think you had the space to.
I don't think so either.
I think that's just like the nature of the dynamics that like were created and were in place at the time. I don't think that you were able to really explore what that even felt like, because you had to move everything yourself.
So true. Yeah, it felt like if I wasn't doing it, it wasn't happening in so many scenarios. And in some ways, I didn't give space to people to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
you felt comfortable in doing all that.
Yeah. And in my family or in my personal, like, relationships and my partners, like, sometimes I couldn't even just, like, let the space happen. But with him, I feel like a girl. And I feel like, yeah, which is, like, it's weird talking about masculine and feminine energies, I think, but it does feel that way. It feels like I'm taken care of, I'm loved and supported, but I'm also 100% authentically me, and I have no shame in like wanting to maybe just be a mom. And just be a mom is like my least favorite sentence, because it's never just that. Yeah. But like, I don't have shame in that as much as I used to. And I never thought it was possible before, because all my previous partners, like, I could not have
had a job,
been a mom. Yeah. I could have not had a job, and also like not been like, moving everything.
But like, but also like kind of being their mommies.
Literally.
Like, you don't want to raise them and your fucking child that you have together. Like, I feel like that was very much the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't just be a mom because she had to be their mom too,
it's
100%
the truth. And I'm
grateful.
Like yeah. No, you're right. And you've seen it all for sure. And I'm grateful for those experiences. I don't ever want to like knock on them, but I do think they were like stepping stones to this. Smashing stones.
Step
really
hard over you.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's still not easy, I will say. It still takes some time for me to like the concept of not having a job, which I actually do kind of now have one a little bit going into it, but like, yeah, it's hard. It's like not easy.
Yeah.
Which is privileged to say, but like, it's not comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I feel like when I like zoom out of like knowing you as like in a deeper way, I guess or I guess maybe it is in a deep way, but like when I zoom out, not like attaching our relationship or anything, I literally see how like life has always just supported you whenever you make changes, and I feel like that has been such like eye-opening experience. I feel like I've known you in different versions of yourself, and I feel like every time you've moved closer to like allowing yourself to be open to all of like the experience that have to come, life literally always supports you, and it's actually insane. And I feel like it has made me like look more into like just trusting like the process. Because I mean, you're a little bit older than us, so like I think I was thinking about the other day, like I literally met you I think when you were my age, and to think that I was like
younger.
You were 26, I think.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah, maybe 25.
I don't think so.
Because how long have you been together?
How old were you? How old was Logan when you met?
She was 21.
Okay, so 26.
Yeah.
Yeah. Logan's
so maybe you were a year younger than me.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, that is so crazy to see. Like, I mean, of course, like 6 years is a long time. Yeah. It also feels like such a short amount of time. But in that, like, I feel like I've seen you trust the next phase. And it like life literally does like allow you to be supportive.
Thank you. I have a hard time seeing that, and I agree with it.
It's so true.
Yeah. Big picture.
Yeah. Doing the thing.
You're literally moving across the world.
Yeah. I know. I don't think it's hit me. I don't think it will until I'm there and I don't have any family and friends around me. That's, I think, when it'll hit me. I'm a little nervous about that, but
I mean, maybe you are ready for that. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like not ready for it. I think I'm just sad. I'm just like, it's just sad.
It's a big change.
It's a huge change.
Yeah.
It's a huge transformation. My dad said something the other day that I feel like has been really sitting with me, because if you live in Los Angeles, you know we've been going through like an insane amount of turmoil this month, and so many people are moving, like leaving their houses, losing stuff. And I'm doing something similar, but like my dad was like, but you get to do it because you're in love. Like, you're moving for love. Like, there's so many other reasons why people have to move or people are moving. And this is like a positive reason to move. And I think that was like, it really helped me put my gratitude into check and like my perspective. Not that I wasn't grateful for the move, but like, it's been really different this month than I thought it would be, like my last month in California in so many ways. And I think, that just helped me like see a different perspective. But I liked that.
That was really sweet when you said it.
Yeah.
What are you finding? I mean, maybe like the of course, the like emotional aspect. But what are you finding like it to be the hardest in moving, like logistically, or even just like, I mean, maybe I know this answer, but like in general, like things that you didn't see coming. That like if somebody did want to move across the world, like what is the one thing you're like, I wish somebody told me about this part?
That's a good question. I feel like my answer was different before that other question.
That little piece.
That little added piece. I think there's like a lot more surrendering needed than I expected. Like there's so many pieces that you have to be willing to accept that there's just a million pieces you don't know about already. Like it's like, I think that's again back to the control thing. Like I thought I had it dialed. I thought I had our visa dialed. I thought I had like logistics dialed of the shipping and everything, and then it was like, oh, but this doesn't fit in this box, so I need a different box, which requires a different price, which requires maybe a different carrier, which requires a different time. Like you just have to be comfortable with change and like adapting. The unknown in a very quick period of time. Like I really thought our visa was dialed, and then they were like, oh, actually you need a background check, and I got the background check, but I got a California one, then I had to get a federal one, which was just a second process and more expensive, and then had to expedite that, and then that isn't acknowledged outside of the US unless you get it apostilled, which then was a whole other 2.5 week process by mail.
Well, thank God you did that.
It's still not done.
Thank God you're in the process.
We're waiting for it. But it's like I think it's that. I think it's like there's no way to know everything because until you just physically just start doing the steps and just to give yourself the amount of space. I'd say that's one, and I'd say the other one is like not equal at all, but son and family. I think that's like my two things that I know are going to be the hardest because the Netherlands are very cold.
We also got some practice in Seattle.
I did.
So
I did.
You lived there for a long ass fucking time.
I did, but
just
it's
get
like
a little
it's
sunset
like
lamp. Get a sunset lamp.
I need to get a sun lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is, I think I forget a lot that it's not just like moving across the country. It's like, there's so many other things to focus on that I don't think about the fact that there's also like a culture change that I'm going to be experiencing. Like I don't have a car. I'm going to have a bike.
Yeah.
I
would actually pass away if I had to ride a bike everywhere. Oh my God, but maybe I'd be so skinny.
You'd get used to it. There's no hills. There's literally no hills.
But
so
like still.
Yeah.
Well, you probably would like electric bikes. There's ways.
But it's like they do everything on bike. Like Dominic was telling me he was picking up boxes on the way home. I was like, but you rode your bike.
On his back? Or?
You rode your bike.
You just put that on you tie it to your back?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, he came, we were talking on the phone. He's like, I was such a proper Dutchie because I had my.
Proper Dutchie.
A proper Dutchie. I sound British, but he's
he
German,
doesn't
Portuguese.
Sound
Doesn't sound like yeah. I can't do his accent actually at all without sounding really bad. But he had like the box like tucked under his arm, partially in a bag and in his basket. Like it was like a trifecta hold while he was taking his.
I would have fell.
Yeah, and it's raining, I'm sure.
No,
it's always raining.
Impeccable on those bikes.
Yeah, I saw a video of someone with a mattress on their head doing it. I was like, that's insane.
When there's a will, there's a way.
For moving.
That's crazy.
He got a van for moving. Thank God.
He said, my American is coming.
Yes.
My American must.
A car.
Yeah.
Aww.
He does have a Mini Cooper, thank goodness.
I mean, he has a car in general.
Yeah, he has a Mini Cooper, yeah.
He's so not cute. Biking to Germany, dude.
No.
Yeah,
we drive.
I don't know,
you
trains.
Have to drive.
Yeah, there are trains, but public transportation. There are trains, but
Europe's so into that.
So into that.
That's so exciting though. You get to like experience a place, not for the first time because obviously you've been there a few times.
Yeah.
But like living there, it's going to be so different. It counts.
Yeah.
Like
it's
this is so my coffee shop. This is my and
she already has her Pilates studio.
I do.
So.
That was like
damn.
But that was like a really it's so cute. You guys
it came to you.
Visit. It did.
It literally came to you.
This is the crazy part is it was a 10-minute bike ride from Dominic's old apartment, which we were going to live in because we were just going to like make do in a really small space, which I'm glad we didn't because there's no way. But we had been looking for a 2-bedroom and this place literally just like kind of landed on us, and I got to view it when I was visiting in over Thanksgiving.
How it all just works out for you. You are the epitome of everything works out for me.
Thank you.
That needs to be on your vision board. I need to be on everybody's, but
I do say the words like
everything's
the universe is working out for my greater good. I usually say that at least once a day.
See, well then
Maybe that helps.
Maybe we need to start doing that. Jesus.
It does help. Affirmations are real.
There you go.
But yeah, thankfully we got the 2-bedroom, but it's basically, it was a 10-minute bike ride before the studio, and now it's a 2-minute walk.
That's amazing.
It's on the same block as
it's
the
on the
Pilates
same
studio.
block. I literally told her it's right underneath. But
Oh, I mean, it's on the same block. It's like literally down the street.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
It's so crazy, and it's so beautiful. I can't wait. But yeah, that's gonna be my life. I'm hoping to just like be slow a little bit, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just
Do
adjust.
some classes and
I'm
adjust.
excited to go.
Yes,
April,
I know.
It's gonna be so
visit
fun.
all the fun things.
DM's
that she has
coming
to
in
do.
April.
Oh yeah, she calls me DM.
Oh, yeah,
didn't
sorry.
get that.
You actually haven't said it yet. DM.
Oh.
She
I
hasn't
just
said, like,
said
in
it.
the episode.
I
Yeah.
think
Just
I
now,
said it.
only.
Oh, yeah,
Just now.
just now.
Yeah, just now.
I do call her DM for her Instagram
Dainty
name.
Melly. Yeah.
Dainty Melly. So you can't retire the Instagram
I
name.
You
can't.
literally can't.
It's part of you now.
Her dad asked me,
Why?
Logan and Brittany's dad asked me, like why my name was Dainty Melly on Instagram, and I was
should
like,
have made something
there's
up.
literally not a fun it's just I was silly,
You
I
was
was
dainty.
young, and I was
Something
like,
rhymed with
I'm
Melly.
dainty,
I
Melly.
feel like dainty was definitely not a common word back then.
No, and that's the point.
Oh.
Because everyone was
Yours-
using like lovely
Oh, God.
and
Not
cutie,
the lovely.
cutie, sweetie, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, period, dainty. It has a ring to it.
We all had to have matching Instagram names. So before, well,
Oh,
not
right.
Instagram, sorry.
MySpace?
AIM, screen
Oh,
names.
AIM.
Screen names, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Those were ours. But Behow came because I liked to dance at college parties, and everyone would say, Behow, go Behow.
Why?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm Behow.
They just shortened both of your. Okay.
There's a lot of football players. They always call me Behow. Literally exactly like that.
Clearly,
That's how
I'm
I
too
grew
close
up.
to the sun.
Clearly.
I need to step away from the college boys.
a little bit, girl.
Okay, I wanted to
Okay.
ask another thing. Well, actually, it's not a question because I already know the answer. But I want you to share what I think is the most interesting fact about apartments there.
Oh, about apartments in the Netherlands?
Yes.
What you think might be?
Well, I
what
think,
is?
yeah.
Oh.
For Americans, it's fucking crazy.
It's weird.
Is it the floors?
Yes.
Oh.
Is it,
Yeah.
is it the floor?
There's a couple other things, too. The floors don't come usually with the apartment.
That's just insane.
Yeah, it's kind of
You gotta
wild.
put your own in.
You gotta put your own in.
I guess it like teaches us a little something.
Mhm.
Bunch of privileged Americans. We're like,
Yeah.
how do you put in flooring?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they probably still
I
hire
did also
somebody.
hear recently. I did also hear recently that it might be like a bit of a touristy trap thing, like a expat move there
Oh.
thing, because one of Dominic's friends who's native Dutch was like, "That's not a thing." I know,
So that's just like to get the.
but it is definitely a
Travelers.
thing. So I don't know.
It's like they're doing it. It's just whether or not it's hitting.
Yeah. But it is-
American.
It's maybe
et
like the
ceteras.
Dutch people, like to one another, they're like, nah, dude, we're good.
Yeah,
And then like to everyone else,
I guess
who's not
that's
Dutch,
basically I think what it is.
they're like, and the floors are
Yeah.
extra $3,000.
Because Dom's not either. Like to them.
no,
they're
he's
like,
not Dutch, but he's been there for
Oh, wow.
6.5 years. He's lived there.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean he speaks Dutch, ish.
Oh.
He does. He wouldn't say he does, but he does.
Howda?
See, I don't speak Dutch.
It's
so
literally Gouda.
He said, I know.
I said I went to one little tour where they taught me how to say Gouda.
I know. Thank you.
I
That's
said
what.
thank you.
Dankjewel.
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 It's like donkey.
Donkey.
Dankjewel.
Okay.
And then
love that.
yeah, hi. They say hi.
So you're gonna be learning the language probably.
I
to
don't
a
think so.
degree. Oh no, a lot of them speak.
They speak
They
English.
speak English. I'm learning Portuguese right now, so I feel like my brain
Okay.
can't really compute.
That's too much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll pick up some words. Like I definitely don't feel comfortable not knowing the language, so I want to pick up some things.
Some stuff.
The problem is if you aren't fluent and native Dutch speaker, they just will resort to English.
Got
They're
it.
not the type of people that like are like,
Fuck
oh my
around.
god, so excited you're
Okay.
trying. Like let's
Yeah.
do it. They're
They're
like,
just
no,
like,
let's get
let's
let's get to
just-
the fucking point.
Which
Like
makes sense. That language is, I feel, difficult.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
But yeah, they won't fuck around. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, no floors. And then the other
Yes.
thing is the toilets are always in a separate room than the shower.
Is that
Like
like a
fully
Europe thing or
separate
just
room?
like
I think it's specifically Netherlands.
Just a door?
It's not that case in
no,
Germany.
it's like a whole other
Part
room.
of the place.
Another
Whole
room. 2 rooms.
Like
toilet
there's a
room.
toilet room and then your shower room.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of
kinda
nice.
nice.
I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to like flush.
Look green.
That's such a good point. You are a little green.
You are shining.
It's a
at
stained
the
glass.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like literally on the green part.
Yep.
I'm just going to be Shrek for a little bit.
Guys, close your eyes.
Oh, Shrek.
Wait, so you're gonna be traveling too when you get there, right? To other.
Yeah. So the only trip we have planned. Well, we'll be to and from Germany quite a bit because his best friend's having a baby. His cousin best friend. So we'll go there, and then like he's a new godfather, so we have a baptism, I think, in Germany. But yeah, we'll be back and forth in Germany quite a bit, and then we're going to Portugal in May, which I'm very excited about.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Except
fun.
it's like to run a 5K, and he's running a half marathon, so I'm not excited about that part.
You're running too?
He signed her up.
He's signing me up. But it's a 5K. I could do it.
I don't even.
It's like, I think 3 miles.
I don't think I could run that.
I think I could do it, but I'm going to be training.
I could walk it.
Yeah.
Walking.
It's also like in the wine country, so you could also walk it. I'm probably going to walk part of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And then everyone's visiting.
Yeah.
So that's like the big part is I have my parents coming, my friend Laura's coming, then they're coming, and then my sister and the kids are coming in the summer.
So fun.
She's jam-packed until the fall, I think. Probably.
Yeah. And he does, like, I've mentioned before, the mystery weekend. So he has like a couple, couple boys trips. Casually just boys planning trips for each other. It's really cute.
That's
but
very sweet.
they do.
Yeah, I brought it up on the podcast.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, you did.
Yes.
You did.
Yeah. I haven't executed the idea yet, though, but I want to.
Haven't quite
For my
gotten to
own friend group.
execution stage.
He just brought it to another friend group, so now he has 2 mystery weekend groups. And I'm like, and he's planning both of them this year. I'm like, that's a good idea because we might have a baby the following year.
Yeah, you
could
said
be planning.
Get it all out right now.
Like, this is gonna be a lot.
Dang.
But yeah, it's fun.
Well, sad to see you go.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
Love to watch you leave, but I hate to see you go.
it's a little bit of both. It's a bit of both.
For a fun question to end it, like, what are your favorite parts of LA? Or, like, it could be restaurants, it could be
What are you gonna
emotional.
miss?
Yeah, like, what are your favorite parts?
I love a coffee shop.
Yeah.
I love a coffee shop. And I love the beach. So I think those are 2 big things. It is very sad. I feel like a lot of my hikes and beach were in the Palisades, Malibu area a lot of the hikes are gone. For now, they'll regrow. But coffee shops, I wasn't a big Jurassic Magic fan when we first started living here, but the last, lately I have been.
Such good coffee.
Such good.
The vibes are, like,
They're
really great.
so great. And, well, the thing is I fell in love with their carrot coconut cake.
Carrot coconut cake. Wow.
Yes. I just had one this morning.
Oh, love it.
And their magic latte is really good, which I had. But that was good. We tried a new coffee shop yesterday, which was so cute, called Yala, which is like Turkish coffee. And they make it on hot sand. So that was
very
sick.
interesting process.
Very fun.
Super cool. Very beautiful. I told them it looked like this other coffee shop we go to, Camel, which is also a fave. But it was like in Dune is how it felt, like in the movie Dune.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but then Camel is really good too. Obviously, obsessed with that
Obsession
place.
with that place.
I'm thinking we need to go at least twice more this week.
I'm down.
Well, you can definitely replace the coffee.
Yeah,
there. Well, maybe not replace, but find your new.
They've got good coffee
loves.
shops.
They do. They really
and
do.
thankfully, that's one of Dominic's favorite things too. Like just stroll for a coffee. So that'll be a staple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some cute ones there, but the beach, they do have a beach. It's just very cold.
It's not the same.
It's a cold beach.
But you'll be at other beaches nearby.
True.
She's got Portugal.
trips.
She's got Spain near
I know,
her.
I'm excited about Portugal. That'd be
Italy's
fun.
not too far.
It's true.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
California beaches are special though, so you
just have a reason to come back.
We do. We have so many reasons to come back.
Yeah.
And so many things celebrating this year too. So I feel like we'll be back. I feel like we'll be back soonish.
She's like, don't overcommit.
Yeah. I keep saying maybe not this year, but it's probably going to be this year at one point.
You think so?
I don't know.
if
People
Nick
are visiting you.
goes and get fucking married. I have
Yeah,
to.
our other sister.
Our other sister.
Their other sister.
Oh, right.
just
Might
got
get married this year?
engaged. She's kind of toying around. I don't know. I don't
She's
know.
back and forth on it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to miss things, but like it's also, I think what sucks is like I'm not gonna probably miss big things like weddings,
But like the smaller pieces.
but like bridal
birthday
shower,
party.
birthday parties, like baby
Yeah.
showers, like those things I will, and that sucks.
Soccer games. I don't know.
Soccer
Just
games,
whatever.
yeah, just
Very small
fucking
things.
Yeah,
pierce
very
my
small.
heart.
Is he
yeah.
playing soccer? Are they playing soccer?
The kids play soccer
Yeah, they play
sometimes.
soccer.
They're like off and on it, but yeah,
Yeah.
let's see.
Wow. Well, you're going to be documenting it? Because now you really have to start posting.
Okay, well there's no way I'm actually gonna go through with that, but
Posting?
I think I'll post, but I was going to make a whole new Instagram of 15.
No, just keep it on the same.
Literally.
Just keep it on the same Instagram. Because you've already got people who want to see what's happening.
Yeah, maybe. I just also have a lot of people I don't care about seeing things on that Instagram, but also
remove them.
Whatever.
Yeah, remove them.
That's true. I could do that. Yeah, I was thinking about making it a whole moment, you know, American moving to
do it.
To Amsterdam.
Start now.
What a great time also. Politically.
Yeah.
What a great time for you to be like,
Me to be an
American, moving to
having a baby, doing the thing.
I know.
I think like
do it.
I think like getting pregnant and having a baby in a foreign country as an American is something that could be really documented and supportive of people looking into that. So I am interested in that.
But even this part.
I'm
yeah. fascinated by every little
bit.
You leaving people who live here will be like, oh, these are the coffee shops this girl's going to miss? Like, I need to go to them.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when you're gone, people who live there.
I think and this is like probably a whole other long thing, so I don't have to get too deep into it, but I think it's like, I'm not on social media for the month of, for however long I feel, but for January, I've been off of it since New Year's, and it was kind of like an on the whim decision, and it's been really oddly difficult and healing at the same time. Like, I feel really good about not being on it. It really put my ego in check this month, like a lot. Like, I realized how much I took pictures for posting and how much I did things for posting, and how much I was like looking for that satisfaction that I like kind of had a freak out the first week of January. I was like, I feel like I didn't get my like, I don't know, validation. Like, I had to learn how to get my validation again for myself. And that was like a really big eye opening, where I'm like nervous about making an Instagram like a thing for me for that reason.
Like, if the connection will be healthy.
Yes. Yeah. So there's that. But I am writing a living memoir, and that's kind of my...
Did you finish your inspo book yet?
I'm almost finished.
I'm like, finish it so I can...
I'm almost finished. Yeah. I'm almost finished.
Okay, it's okay. I'll buy it if you
don't. It's so good.
Yeah.
I think I'm like trying to shift in like wanting to share a story and like support, I don't know, like other women in that way. Yeah. Because it's slower and more meaningful and like not as validating.
Immediate gratification of posting something.
Yeah, but it's both. So I don't know. I like both. I also feel like when I have a book, it's going to be nice to have an Instagram to back it up. So...
Yeah. You can't escape social media.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, I'm here for it if you decide to do it.
Yeah. I'm ready for the journey of some sort.
I know. I'm not going to see you and hear things. So
yeah.
I'm going to be like, whoa.
I will download Snapchat. Melissa requested that.
Yeah,
and I will.
That's a good one. How are we going to connect?
Yeah, I could do that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I haven't had it for many, many years, but...
Same girl. And then I got it and I was like, you know what? It's kind of fun.
It's good for just a quick little, like... moment, like washing my car. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna be that, but
washing my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also
wiping my bike.
Literally.
Look, Ma, no hands.
They do. Snapchat. They always have a what's it called? Like a cloth. You always have a cloth in your thing to wipe your bike.
God, see?
Fun. See?
The lore, the culture.
Yeah. The culture.
The culture is cool. We'll see. Yeah.
Very excited for you.
Thank you for this.
Excited to see what happens.
Fun.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. I feel like you're going to inspire lots of people. So.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Do your thing, people.
What's your thing? What do you say? Remind me, the affirmation.
Oh, the universe is always working out for my greater good.
The universe is always working out for my greater good.
It's a good one.
I'm just going to start saying it every day, y'all.
Yeah,
it's an agape Michael plug.
Oh.
No, plug yourself. What's your Instagram? Myself. Yeah.
Oh, my Instagram? I have two.
Which one is she going to pick?
I know. I don't know, actually. You guys will have to tell me. But I have Be How.
Yes.
Which is like everyday fun, go. And then Be Born Doula. It's BORNE.
I didn't keep those separate, but I feel like...
Yeah. But I meant for like the... like if
Be How.
You think Be How?
Yeah, because it's lifestyle. It's
Be-How's lifestyle.
It's not your doula business.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll have both linked, though.
Yeah.
Choose which one you want.
Fun stuff.
All right. We're going to wrap the episode here because I'm scared my camera did die. I just see that right now. Fun.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, glad at the end. I literally just checked it, so I think it'll be fine in terms of like the rest of the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun. We'll do a virtual one.
Yes, we will.
Or we'll come.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. Or you'll come. Yeah, we can do a checkup live from the streets.
We're literally on the streets of Amsterdam.
Literally just in a cafe.
In a cafe.
In a cafe.
Might be loud.
Not a
by
coffee
the canal?
Shop. Not a coffee shop, but a cafe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, we love you so much.
I love you.
Thanks for coming on again. Yeah, you guys want to follow, it'll be in the description. Yeah, we'll catch you guys next week, because now we only do one episode a week.
Once
Reminder.
a week, y'all.
Yeah, you can catch us on our socials too at We Care A Lot Pod. Why did I say it so slow? And yeah, if you're not subscribed yet or follow any of the channels, make sure you do that. Anything else, Sam?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
The stained glass is such a moment on you.
I'm literally Shrek.
I love it.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.